Welcome to this edition of On the Scene. I'm your host, Tim Kelly. On today's program, we're going to be talking puppies and planes. Now, why do these two things go together? It's because there are two great events coming up here in the city of Suffolk that are going to be happening actually the same weekend. We're going to be highlighting the upcoming Festival of Flight and the Humane Society's Mutt Strut coming up the weekend of May 4th and 5th. So again, you want to find out about all of these events and a whole lot more. Stay tuned. Welcome back to On the Scene. We're now coming to you from the Suffolk Executive Airport, and we're joined today by Ray Batten, who is president of the Virginia Aviation Council, and also Kent Marshall, who's airport manager out here. Thank you, gentlemen, both for being with us today.
Thank you.
Now, we're here to talk about the Festival of Flight. Now, of course, that event has been in Suffolk for a few years now, but this year there's some new things coming to the picture, so we're going to talk all about that, tell you what's going on and what's coming up again the weekend of May 4th and 5th. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And Ray, we're going to let you lead it off and talk a little bit about maybe a little bit the history of the Festival of Flight, and if someone comes out to the event, what can they see?
The Festival of Flight started in 1997 in Dinwiddie, and in 2008 moved to Suffolk. They moved to Suffolk for the primary reason to have more room. Suffolk has great camping facilities and so on to be able to house everybody and bring everybody in.
So what exactly is a fly-in? I know that's one of the terms associated with this event. What does it mean for the pilots and also maybe for the general public?
Okay, there's several types of fly-in. There's fly-ins for pilots for things as simple as a pancake breakfast to fly-ins like this one that's more for an education event. Okay. Pilots are continuing their education on a continual basis, as you might guess. Sure. This is an event is set up for pilots to come and go through forums, to get more educated on the things that are changing in the aviation industry and so on. But this event is also for kids to be able to learn. We need to bring more kids into the aviation community because as the economies change and things like that, it's hard to keep things going in that fashion. Now on Saturday, we're going to take it one day at a time and break the days down. Someone comes out to the festival. Well, let's actually back up for just a second. Let's talk about the fact, what is the price of admission? So if you're general public or an aviation enthusiast, you want to come out here to attend, what are we looking at? The price of admission is $10 both days, Saturday and Sunday. Okay. 14 and below gets in free. Okay. So that's the price. All right, good deal. And you could pay that, of course, at the gate. You don't need to buy your tickets in advance? That's correct. You can pay it at 8. All right. Now, of course, you come out here on site. We'll talk about Saturday. We'll get back to that. What are we going to see? What's going to be out here filling up the space that we have here? And we have plenty of it, Kent, and thanks again for providing everything here. Well, there is several things that you're going to see. Saturday, you'll have a lot of pilots from all over the East Coast flying in, barring weather, obviously. Sure. But we've had as upwards of 200 planes, I believe, Ken, in years past. The runways will be filled with different planes. A lot of them are not unlike the plane behind you see, or the other planes on the field. Sure. There will also be quite a few vintage airplanes. There's a C-54. The Berlin airdrop will be here. There's also Curtiss Eli Pusher, which was one of the first planes that ever did a naval landing on a military ship. Right. And so what you may see is Wacos. I mean, there'll be several different planes. So. Now, of course, are the plane owners going to be here so that if you're walking around and you walk, they'll talk with you and kind of give you some of the history and some of the background of what we're looking at? That's correct. One of the proudest things about being a pilot is the owner of the plane and be able to show off what you love. Okay. So. Now, what else are going to be available on that Saturday as far as now? I believe there's also going to be a car show here as well, right? There'll be a car show. We invite all the people to bring out their cars. Okay. It's on a first-come, first-served basis. I think it starts at 10 o'clock in the morning and runs on through the afternoon. It's a chance for you to show off your love and your hobby as well. Okay. And what are the hours going to be on Saturday? The hours start at 8 a.m. and then run to basically dusk. Okay. At 8 a.m. there will be a pancake breakfast on both days. We invite everybody to come out and enjoy the pancake breakfast. There is a nominal charge. Then on Sunday it's going to be the same thing. I think it starts a little later. I think it's around 10 or 11 o'clock. All right. And there will be an air show starts at 1 on Sunday. Okay. Now let's talk about the air show. What's going to be what's going to take part in that? Who's bringing that in here and what can people experience? Well, we're starting the first years as not a huge air show like you'd see over at Hampton, but it's the old-fashioned air show. It's the Stearman, a Cub, and that kind of thing. We're doing aerobatics, wing walking. Right. Kurt Wicker out of Manassas area up there will be here doing it. Very nice. They have a great program. It's one of them is called a Flying Farmers Act. That if you haven't seen it, it will really amaze you. So. And again, price of admission will get you in here, and of course you can see that live and in person right here on the strip. Now, of course, we'll be out. People will be out. Actually, we'll walk out and about and get out there and mix and mingle with the aircraft. Correct? You'll be right next to them. You can go out, reach up, and touch it. Right. And in a lot of cases, if people got a plane there, they're more than happy to open it up, let you look in it, that kind of thing.
Now, we had talked before we started taping about another program, and you talked about the youth. And on Sunday, the Young Eagles, I believe, is the name of the
Yes.
program. Talk a little bit about what that is, and also some of the opportunities for young people.
Yes, the Young Eagles program is a great program. It's put on by the EAA. Pilots volunteer their time, their planes, their fuel, everything, to take kids up and give them a first-hand experience of flying. They'll come in, they'll have to sign up, and their parents have to sign a waiver.
Of course.
And we'll take them up in the plane. We'll fly. They have a certain pattern. They'll have us fly. We'll let them take the controls for a few minutes, that kind of thing, and then we bring them back in. And if you've never seen a kid for their first flight, the way their face lights up, it's a great program.
And of course, you said that's a great way to introduce young people to aviation and also get them experience firsthand, literally, in that instance right there, and then get them to keep coming back. Any other educational programs going on over the course of the weekend?
There is probably more than I could even remember,
Sure.
but there's a lot of programs geared toward home building, to people that build their own planes. To weather. I think the FAA is going to be here, that kind of thing, and different programs that they're learning experiences. This whole thing is really built around STEM, the STEM program for the school system. Next year, one of the programs we're actually looking at bringing in, we met with them at Sun and Fun this week, is the Tuskegee Airmen. They have this whole program. They work with the schools. So we're really looking to build this, and we need the public to come out and help us build it and be part of it.
And again, the dates are Saturday, May 4th and Sunday, May 5th, right here at the Suffolk Executive Airport.
That is correct. That's correct.
Now, Kent, let's talk. I want to talk for you a second. What does an event like this mean for the airport? People come out here and again see the resources and the great opportunity that's out here at this airport.
Oh, we consider ourselves so fortunate that the Experimental Aircraft Association, in partnership with the Virginia Aviation Council, elected to move their festival over here to the Suffolk Airport.
Sure.
We have 750 acres that we were able to put at their disposal, and they seem to find that to be appropriate for the time being.
Sure.
And the goal is to build it to almost 600 aircraft on one weekend, and what that does for the city of Suffolk and our airport is it brings us to the forefront of the general aviation community's attention.
Correct.
We've had folks visit from as far away as Vermont and southern Florida for this event, and they go home, mention that this place is the best place to stop on the East Coast when you're running up and down.
Exactly.
And thereby gives us just tremendous exposure and to the forefront of the aviation community.
And of course, the other thing is, of course, people coming in to utilize the resources here at the airport. We also have the great opportunity for tourism and other things as far as to go out there and frequent the businesses here in the city of Suffolk. So it's a win-win, a good kind of branching out in the community for that aspect. And speaking of branching out, I know recently had some renovations done inside the Suffolk Executive Airport terminal building. And one of the things is we have actually a restaurant that's coming into the picture. Altitudes, I believe, is the name of it. Is that correct?
Yes, we do. We finally have been able to get some folks to come in and open that up.
Good deal.
Their grand opening was last Saturday, the 20th.
Right.
And they plan to be open now, unfortunately, just on the weekends.
Okay.
But 2 or 3 weeks, or perhaps 6 weeks in, they anticipate expanding those hours. But currently, it'll be Saturday mornings from 8 o'clock until 2 in the afternoon.
Very nice.
And Sundays from 9 o'clock until 2 in the afternoon.
Well, hopefully they get some good traffic the weekend of the festival flight,
We would really
correct?
love for some of the local folks to come down and see what they've done. Or, well, I say the Economic Development Department has recently renovated our terminal building, and we'd love for the local folks to come down. And yes, you're correct, the fly-in will generate a great deal of business in that aspect also.
Great. Now, one thing, you know, we haven't mentioned, and people might think, oh, well, we know Suffolk has an airport, but where are we located? Just in case you don't know, Ken, I'm going to let you fill them in on that.
We're located 3.5 miles south of downtown Suffolk. And for the aviation folks, we're right on the east-west north-south flyway, 16 miles in from the coast, 16 miles north of the North Carolina line.
Okay. And Ray, I want to get back to you for one second. I know there's a great website associated with this event. If you could just tell us what that web address is so we can direct people there so they can get some additional information.
It's www.flyin.org, virginiaflyin.org.
Okay, and of course we'll have that up on the screen a couple times throughout the interview so people can jot that down. And again, you want to talk about, just hit some of the highlights of this event that's going to be coming up again May 4th and 5th as far as what the admission is, and also just a real, again, brief overview of what people can experience when they come out.
Once again, Saturday, you can experience everything from training forums to learning more about aviation, how planes are built, how they fly. We'll have schools here if you're interested in learning to fly.
Right.
They're going to be holding seminars, teaching you about the different ways you can go about it, and if you want to be a commercial pilot, what do you got to do? Later on in Saturday, there's going to also be a car show. Sunday, we turn around and there is it really don't open around 10 o'clock.
Right.
And then around, I think the air show starts at 1.
Okay.
It runs to 2. And then from 2 to on, and it's going to run late probably with the amount of kids we'll get, will be the Young Eagles flights as well. Now also on Sunday, all the same stuff that was here Saturday will still be here.
I got you.
It's just more of a day for the public.
I understand.
That kind of thing.
Okay. Well, gentlemen, Kent, you were going to add something there?
I just wanted to point out that the Young Eagles program is a tremendous endeavor. And point out again, there's no charge.
Okay. Oh, great.
Bring your children out here and give them this experience. Let them get a signed document that they actually flew the airplane and get a photograph to keep. It's really a popular thing.
And Ray, one thing unique about the air show, that may be one of the few opportunities people have to actually see an air show in this region, probably for a little bit of time, unfortunately due to some of the economic things going on the national level.
You're absolutely correct. With the sequester, unfortunately Hampton's already canceled theirs, so is Oceana.
Right.
So we encourage the folks to come out. Kenny mentioned that the new restaurants can be open. Every day is an air show at an airport. In a sense, for somebody that's not familiar with aviation, and I can't tell you how proud most pilots are to invite somebody to come out and look at their plane, see their plane, that kind of thing. Even rides these days are a little more uncommon because of insurance purposes and so on.
Of course.
But at the same time, there's nothing better than introducing people to something that everybody fears or just don't have the ability to get to.
Right. So because not everybody has an airplane, that's for darn sure. But it's a great opportunity to come out and experience everything live and in person right here in Suffolk Executive Airport. Again, the weekend of May 4th and 5th, the Festival of Flight, something to definitely take part in. And we'll have more on the scene when we return. Welcome back to On the Scene. We're joined now by Kay Hurley, the Director of Community Outreach with the Suffolk Humane Society. Kay, thanks for being with us.
My pleasure. Thank you.
And the good thing is today, and it's a very exciting day because we have a chance to talk to Kay about the 5th Annual Mutt Strut Dog Walk and Festival, which is always a great event, a lot of fun to talk about. And Kay, this year, I'm going to let you tell us, the date is Sunday, May 5th, correct?
May 5th.
We're at Sleepy Hole Park.
Absolutely.
Now fill in the details.
And it's from 1 to 5.
Okay.
It's free and open to the public.
Right.
We do hope everyone will come out and register to walk because it is a pledge walk for us, and that's our fundraising effort.
Right.
But we've got lots of events, demos, activities for children. It's a wonderful family event, and you can bring your 4-legged family members too.
Right. Now, if somebody has not been to one of the previous events, what are some of the highlights or things that you want to make sure you take in addition to certainly to the walk, which of course is the fundraiser for the Humane Society, of course. Just talk about what are some of the things they're going to experience. And I know in the past you've had some very unique demonstrations that you mentioned. If you maybe kind of highlight some of the folks that are going to be taking place this year.
Well, we've got, of course, the Suffolk Police Department will have their canine unit, and they're always amazing to watch.
Right.
We have the Flying Jacks. It is a team of Jack Russell Terriers, a stunt team, and they will just blow you away. And we have our popular pet contest. We've got a wonderful costume contest, and you never know what clever things what their pets will come up with. We have the Frosty Paws ice cream eating contest for dogs. That's always fun to watch. And one contest that's really, really popular is Race the Wind. And that's where we have a police officer clock a dog with his radar gun as the dog races to his owner.
Interesting.
And people just love that, and the dogs do too.
Now, does it cost anything to sign up for some of those contests, and is that something you can do on site?
You can sign up for the contest on site. We recommend you sign up as soon as you get there because there's limited space.
I understand.
And they fill up. The event itself is free. It is a $15 registration fee for the walk. And we'd love for you to recruit your friends and neighbors. You don't have to be there, and you don't even have to have a dog to walk.
Oh, nice.
But so the primary thing is to support all our activities. This is our primary fundraising effort of the year. And it's how we do all the things we do.
Now, this is the 5th one. Now, if you could talk about how the event has kind of evolved over the years a little bit. I know every year it does seem to get a little bigger. and that's a good thing because certainly it means more people are participating, either coming out the day of or sponsors or whatever. And if you could just talk about the evolution of the event as well as the sponsorship opportunities that are still available for this particular event this year. And of course, sooner rather than later, if you want to be included with some of the materials there. But as we talked about off camera before we started, it's always a good time if you feel like you want to donate your time or your efforts or whatever you can or your resources to the Humane Society.
Absolutely. We are primarily volunteers. And we work with Suffolk Animal Care Center. We sponsor adoption events. We support humane education. We try and provide low-cost spay and neuter options in the city. And so we're trying to make this a better community for our pets and for the people who love their pets.
Right. Now, what are some opportunities that people can help participate in, be it the Mutt Strut event, which of course is why we're talking today, and to note that we're also coming from the Humane Society office located right here, right just outside of Driver, right here. So again, a great opportunity if you want to come by. What are some opportunities that people can get involved in with your organization?
Well, we always need volunteers. We need volunteers to help at the Suffolk Animal Care Center and socializing the pets there, caring for them. We have cats at both the North Suffolk and Chesapeake Square PetSmart. We have volunteers who help with those cats. They're there 2 to 3 times a day to socialize, clean the cages, help with adoptions. We need volunteers here at the office. We need volunteers for everything, fundraising, just all kinds of things. And we have a huge humane education program, and we have our Therapy Dogs program, which is the books and reading for kids in Suffolk. And that's once a month. And we also work with Rivers Bend Academy with Therapy Dogs.
So really branching out there in the community. And one thing you mentioned about the kids, I mean, certainly it's not only the education for pets, but it's also kind of bringing the love of animals also to young people as well, correct?
I believe if young people learn compassion for those who can't help themselves, they're going to grow up to become better adults, and we'll have a better community as a result.
Indeed. Now, who's this little friend we have here with you?
This is Matilda. And she will eventually, well, probably by the time this airs, be up for adoption. And she is a very sweet girl. She's been spayed and up to date on shots, and she'll probably be making her way to one of the PetSmarts soon.
Now talk about, I know we also heard some of Matilda's friends in the back here at the office here kind of saying, hey, don't forget about me too. But talk about some of the adoption opportunities and the fact that, as you noted, y'all work very closely with Suffolk Animal Care, that facility over there, the relatively still brand new facility over there by Forest Glen, off of Forest Glen Drive. If you could just talk about y'all's relationship.
We have a wonderful relationship with Suffolk Animal Care Center. We volunteer there. They work with us very closely. We adopt the cats from there, and we've started a much more active dog foster program too. And we need more fosters. That's another way to volunteer. But we adopt the cats out, have them here in fosters. We make sure they're healthy, they're social, and so when they go to PetSmart, they're ready to go home with their new owner.
Now, the PetSmart adoption events are great opportunities, and of course, the wonderful array, I should say, of animals that are available to take home and for people to make them a part of their family, certainly. But just talk about how those events go. I mean, again, you noted you use the facility in Northern Suffolk and also one over by Chesapeake Square, and generally about once a month. I think you generally have events there.
Once a month at each PetSmart, and sometimes we have them at additional locations. We've had them at Lowe's and other places, Walmart. So it all depends, but at least one at each PetSmart a month. And we have volunteers and Suffolk Animal Care Center staff who attend those, and each person will take a dog and walk the dog through the store and
great advertising there, right?
Meet people and this past adoption event, we adopted out 10 animals.
Wow, nice.
So 10 animals found their forever homes.
That is great. Now, what is the process at those events? I mean, when you go there, and of course, I'm sure people have heard a lot about them and thought, well, maybe I'll go, but what is the process like? If you come in and you meet an animal and the relationship seems to be bonding right there, how does that process work?
You fill in an application through either Suffolk Animal Care or through Suffolk Humane if it happens to be one of the cats that belongs to the Humane Society there. You fill out the application, and in general with Suffolk Animal Care, as long as things check out, you can go home with your new best friend.
Good deal. Now, speaking of best friends, and of course we came here today specifically to talk about the Mutt Strut event that's coming up in early May. Okay, if you could again highlight that event one more time and also talk about your website, which again is a great resource for people who want to know more about the Humane Society and some of the great events, not just with Mutt Strut, but everything you have scheduled throughout the year.
Well, and also at Mutt Strut, we're going to have lots of animals up for adoption.
Great.
A lot of rescue groups will be there with their animals, and we'll have them from Suffolk Animal Care Center. And so it's a great opportunity to check out a lot of different, different animals. But Mutt Strut's going to be May 5th, 1 to 5, Sleepy Hole Park.
Okay.
It's free parking, free admission. Please pledge to walk and help us out. But we have tons of events through the years and participate in many city events. You'll see these green shirts everywhere.
Not hard to miss there. And of course, maybe at this time of year you might blend in with the pollen a little bit, but certainly you're still out and about and certainly making a good name.
And we promote our events at SuffolkHumaneSociety.com. Our phone number is 757-538-3030.
Okay.
We also have our Facebook page.
Nice.
So go on Facebook and like Suffolk Humane, and we post everything that we're doing there as well.
Okay. Well, great. Well, Kay, thanks for being with us. And Matilda, thank you as well. Didn't have as much to say as
Matilda was a very good.
She did wonderful. Wonderful.
Good
And again,
TV
you said
person.
Possibly in a little while she'll be up for adoption. So
Absolutely.
probably by the time, like you said, that this airs. So again, if you're interested in finding the forever pet to bring home to your house, as for Suffolk Humane Society or Suffolk Animal Care Facility, reach out to one of those great organizations. The Mutt Strut, as we said, Sunday, May 5th, Sleepy Hole Park in Suffolk. A great event to come out and take part in, and you can help support the Humane Society right here in Suffolk. Thank you. Thanks for watching this edition of On the Scene. We'll see you next time.